As a longtime ATK user, I've been a longtime fan for 10 years. From the pioneer plan of the ATK68 to the blind testing of RS7. And now for the Leviathan collaboration pre-order, there are 4 keyboards in total. I got 3 Leviathans, and this time it's even more exaggerated, I got 1 in total. Of the 233 games, 2 are pre-ordered 899 player edition and 1099 Explorer versions. All versions are Leeway Tanjo 11. I see some platforms have better prices. I bought another 10,000 times, and the King was basically a way to close out my position. Let me start by posting the payment chart. All the following comments, whether praise or criticism, are personal opinions. What is the actual user experience like with no secret or black? Let's get started regarding the appearance. This time, ATK really did an innovative collaboration which really feels like it. The keycaps are very strong, and the standing wall feature is truly impressive. Features. The overall blue color scheme corresponds to one attribute keyboard of the Leviathan team. The casing uses a full aluminum CNC 180mm power supply process. The shell is quite refined. The keyboard color scheme is advantageous. South-facing ribbons in the Vitten style. There's also a light strip placed underneath. This experience is ATK using a blue ring around the top shell. As a touch, this blue ring is currently the most attractive feature for me. Otherwise, this keyboard would look rather plain. This blue ring looks really cool under the lights. What do you think? The back of the electric drive is pretty standard. Anyway, nothing particularly appealed to me. For rubber corrections, and a counterweight with a Leviathan ID. Now let's talk about keycaps. When you remove keycaps and switches, could it still be that they're still using these old-fashioned integrated switches? Then I have to share something great. I previously bought this model from a certain brand, but it was quite expensive. Next, I need to introduce a T-Wood switch puller and key puller. This is a super large 4-key puller. Can pull out 4 buttons at once. Moreover, one of its interior features a relatively rounded chamfer. You don't need to worry about damaging your sword cap or anything like that. I still have more than 2 left. If you need it, please claim it in the comments. Purpose. Integrated elbow pull. The sword drawing aura is also quite good. With a little pull, an elbow appears. The upper end can be used separately for a sword drawing cap, which is quite strong in terms of style. Of course, these 2 models together cost only half the price of this one. For those who usually pull out their axes and sword caps, I think it's worth watching and drawing back to the main topic. The sword cap uses a sublimation sword cap from the PPT show. This Leviathan-style blue and white color scheme, it still suits my taste. The electroplastic coating doesn't have a strong matte feel, it's pretty smooth, and there are 3 types of switches. Besides these 2 Leviathan switches, without RGB 1 Magnet King or WordPro, I have the other 2 types of switches as well. Let's compare and listen to the typing sound first. First, let's talk about choosing these 3 types of switches. Personally, I think the Leviathan self-developed switch as ATK's first self-developed switch. The level is indeed very high. The rear axle does not have enough wobble amount. Its light transmission performance is also quite good. But in terms of sound and tactile feel, I find it less stable and light than the Tsu Pro. It's also less awkward than RGB Magneto. The only advantage might be that blue suits this keyboard. Personally, I suggest it's better to choose the RGB 1 Magnet King or the WordPro version. There's another major change in ATK this time. The structure is surprisingly tanky. This keyboard uses a top structure. The Gusky structure differs in that the top structure feels harder to the touch. The feeling of hitting bottom, it is especially crisp, and the local deformation when pressed is minimal. One point is that its sound consistency is quite poor. However, magnetic switch keyboards are basically targeted at FPS and rhythm game users. I think the top structure is more suitable for magnetic shafts than the Gusky structure. The ATK design is a practical usage direction that deserves praise. After finishing the drawing, I'll say a couple of harsh words. I even spent 1,099 yuan on a keyboard for it. Isn't it time to improve the sound of the large keys that are weak in your openness? I really don't want to complain about anything when I unboxed it, so I posted a short video to vent about this matter. Many people are criticizing me in the comments section, so let me summarize first. It's probably a magnetic shaft. That's exactly it. If you don't like it, just give it up for the sound and feel you like. Just use a mechanical keyboard to eat with it, and the blogger will block you. I don't want to comment on these people. I'm saying this because I want ATK's factory runtimes to improve in the future. After all, who would be willing? So much money has already been spent. And when it comes to hand, he actually has to lubricate the shaft himself. Anyway, keep it up with ATK. ATK's WebDriver this time is quite well done. Concise and clear. You can instantly understand how to tune it. Gene Nan set up a global trigger axis. The animation also adds small details. The top is quite well done. Can this advanced setting be changed to be optimized like a segment output? That's why the user experience might be much better. It's a bit too small now. On the right, I won't go into the shaft calibration and will cycle ratio. This version also supports DKS MTT GLSO CDR SOKS 6 advanced features. The experience of this driver is slightly stronger than the ones I use from various brands. In actual use, I used the 0.01 RT0 dead drive for 3 days without stopping. Whether for daily use or tile laying, it's no problem. Nowadays, keyboards around 1,000 yuan, if they still break or make mistakes, that's unlikely, because performance is basically a huge competition. Alright, let's summarize. As a longtime fan of the AT68 and RS7, this keyboard is available for pre-sale. It's a reckless experience, directly immersing myself in the experience. The above is definitely the first 3 magnetic elbows I've used so far. It's also my favorite among all the ATK keyboards, especially its appearance. It really hits a chord with me. If you're still in the small array magnet costing around 1,000 yuan. If you hesitate in the keyboard setup, I still recommend this Leviathan with a standard setup. Of course, if you like light boxes, then go for the UGEX 68 Ultra, which is no problem either. At this price point, I feel performance is no longer the top priority. Who doesn't have 8K rotation rates and 32K scans? I like the look of the handheld. I think having a little more looks is what matters most. That's all for this video. If you like it, please like, comment, and subscribe to support us. See you next time.